Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe nobody heard. I was saying hello to everybody. Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Vanessa. Hey, Eva. Let me see. Hey, Amy. Hey, Holly. Hey, Alan. I'm having all these conversations again because I don't think anybody heard me. Hey, Renee. Hey, Deep. We had a good class this morning. Good to see you this morning and this afternoon. Hey, Jen. Hey, Dawn. Hey, Go-Kart. Hey, Love Muffin. Hey, Gupta. Yep, Victoria, 7 months. Time sure does fly. Yay, good. I'd already hit it. Hey, Julia. Hey, Crystal. Hey, Casey. Hey, Yasmin. Good to see you. Hey, Crystal. Hey, Shar. Y'all let me know when you have your medical coding exam, your final certification exam scheduled. If you're going to do it with AAPC or CCS or anybody else, just let me know when you're planning on taking your exam. Is anybody taking it this weekend? You're taking your exam tomorrow, Crystal? Oh my goodness. Did you do the class this morning, Crystal? Hey, Jay. June 10th, Victoria. You take your exam next week. You're nervous. That's to be expected. Normal, normal, normal. Let me get rid of this. Yeah, save that. And then what else do I need to get? Okay. Today's duck class. May 27th, coming up soon. June 10th, that's right, Amy. Some things to be sure to know about is JVD, peanut allergy testing, and Warthan's tumor. If you don't know about those subjects, Google is your friend. Be sure and search Google for those items. Let me see if I can show off our Discord. I just posted in Discord. Let's see. And no, I need this one. In our CEU room, in our Discord group, I'm trying to show it off right now. Where is, here we go. And then copy link. I don't know if this will help. Ooh, did that work? Yes, right here. This is our Discord group. It's completely free for you guys. You have a whole sidebar here full of different rooms. Each room has its own header. Like this one that I'm in right now is CEUs. There is a free one that Omega Healthcare is putting on, and I posted it in the CEU room. You guys just fill out the little sheet, and then they'll send you a link to it, and I believe you get to watch the replay, and it is free. Even if you don't need the CEUs, this one will be a nice one to watch because they're revisiting the E&M changes that happened for 2023. So it's always nice to hear other educators talk about a certain subject, because instead of just listening to me all the time, it's always nice to hear some words from somebody else. Maybe they'll explain one particular part better than I do. You never know. So anyway, and it's free. So you might not need the CEU, because if you haven't passed yet, then you don't need it, but that's okay. It's still good information. Super cool. Don't forget to join this Discord group if you can. This is our main chat room where we get to talk and visit. Oh, somebody's got their Mother's Day and graduation stuff going on. Aw. We have rooms for what to expect on exam day. My favorite E&M resources or CPT code resources. You can scroll back and see 2 years worth of shared information. Super cool to have all this information in one location, and it's all free. ICD-10 resources. We even have practice exam rooms. If you have a question you're working on through your course or something, you can always post it here and get people to help you figure out why the answer is what it is and that kind of stuff. Super helpful. We have a room full of cases. We even have a room for like CRC practice questions or CPMA. Super helpful. Just tons of rooms here for you guys. Want to make sure y'all utilize it. It's free. There's a room when you first sign up that says Discord tips. There's 2 videos in here. That way you can learn how to utilize Discord if you've never used it before. But it won't track you. I don't get you guys' log on info. I don't spam you here. You guys can message me, which I've got some messages here I haven't done yet. But I won't bother you with anything. This is just for you guys to help out. Even job resources. So once you do pass and you're trying to look for jobs, I have a resource room here where people can post openings. Also, I post ideas on where to do job interviews, and I even have in this room, if a certain employer sends out a coding exam, if you keep scrolling backwards, I have copies of some of those exams and what they look like. This is really cool. This is free training through Microsoft, and this is to help you become an analyst like I am, or an auditor. They have free healthcare training that you can add to your resume while you're looking for jobs, which is really cool. I posted those in here. But they're free courses. You might as well utilize it, and then you can add that to your resume. But there are practice charts in here too of how you could code, like if an employer gives you a particular exam, what you need to know. Super helpful. We've got copies of those. That is the CMS stuff. And this was a cool job that I had posted too. You didn't even need your CPC for that one. It was really nice. Good stepping stone one, and it paid like $32 an hour. So working from home, there's a ton of information in here. So the rooms light up on the side when you have stuff in here that you haven't seen. When they go to a non-bold font, then that means you've read everything in it. And sometimes if you click this information, you see how it got rid of some of the rooms? So now only the ones that show up are the ones that I haven't seen all the info that somebody's posted in them. But if all the rooms go away, all you got to do is click on that info and then all the rooms come back again. So that's kind of handy to know. And then you can also see everybody that I've helped along the way. She made a 95. Oh my gosh, Ashley. That's really cool. You can post your triumphs in here, and we even have an off-topic room where you can post jokes, or if you have a side hustle that's not in competition with me, of course, but if you're selling stickers or cups, mugs, or your kids are having a lemonade sale online virtually, whatever, you can post it in the off-topic room, and whatever. Of course, y'all can post in here. Oh, that's so handy dandy. Look at that little kit. Need to post that picture in what to expect in exam day room. Exam day resources, that would be a great picture for that room right there. If you need to know what camera to have, if you're doing it remotely from home, your exam, a ton of the helpful tips are right there in that exam room. But I just want to make sure you guys utilize the Discord group. It's super handy dandy. It's much better than the Facebook group or the Facebook Messenger group that I have. It only holds 250 people. This one will hold 500,000, I think. So, and unlike Facebook, where if you join the group, you don't get to see the previous talked about subjects, this one you can search, any room for all kinds of subjects. Like if you want to know how to code a consultation, just type in the word consultation, and anybody that's had a conversation about consultations, it'll pop up, that kind of thing. So it's super cool, super handy dandy, and you've got 2 years worth of information in here stored for you to look at. And you can bring it up, make it bigger, make it smaller, whatever. Super handy dandy. All right, and one more plug about this Sunday's workshop. If you guys want to join in, let me see if I can find a way to show you guys. That's Discord. That's YouTube. None of that's helpful. Let me switch here and see. Window capture. Should be able to go to here. There we go. So I have a workshop this Sunday. If you want to participate, you just go to my website, Medical Coding by Jen, click on the workshop tab, and it is for this Sunday, the 14th. It's at 2 p.m. Arizona time zone. It's $12. We're going to do 75 questions on compliance, guidelines, and regulatory. That section has 7 questions in it in the exam, and we're also going to do E&M. We'll do in the same pace as the exam, 25 questions per hour. Just click on the 14th, then click on 2 p.m., and then it'll let you hit the next button. So if you want to participate, you can pre-purchase that. You get the replay of this video for 90 days, which is super handy dandy, because if you have access to my videos, which is super handy dandy, when we do the workshops, you can pause the workshop. I'm going to the playlist here. You can go to the workshops and hit pause as soon as the first question shows up, and pause the screen and then try to work out the question yourself. Ooh, yeah. And then try to do the question by yourself and then see if you get it right and let it play again. So this is a great way to do 75 questions all in one area. This one's the cardiology workshop we did in March, and That's 75 questions in cardiology and E&M. Great way to concentrate and do your practicing with a ton of questions and see if you get the right answers. I'm about 98% correct on all these. Sometimes I get them wrong, but I've got the rationale and everything after we try to do it together. But it's still fun to do together, just like we do at night. But super handy dandy. Just hit pause, try to do the question yourself, and then see if you get the answer right. Great way to do that. All right, and I've been talking to Practicode about their E&M section. They fixed one question that was completely wrong with E&M. They have 6 more to fix, and I sent those to Emily. She hasn't looked at this yet or replied, but hopefully she will. And they'll get Pocket Prep correct for all the E&M questions. But they still have 6 that are incorrect, but they have 24 of them here that are great and good to go. It's just the ones that are say anything about history and physical. Those are the ones that are incorrect. And some of their times are off, but this one right here, that one's a good one. They fixed that one. That one's appropriate. Question. But Pocket Prep has 500 questions for the AAPC certification exam, and I like them because they tell you what page number the answers are, and they have pretty good rationale. It's just when we converted to the new guidelines, they missed the mark on 7 questions, and they still had some questions with deleted codes in them. Where's that anatomy one? That was not anatomy, but it was one with the 19 codes. Of course, I can't find it when I'm looking for it, but they have 6 more to fix and correct. So just be careful when they're talking about history and exam being one of the key points in what the answer is. That one's still incorrect. They had, those are good. That one's good. That one's okay, I believe. Anyway, the ones that are incorrect are right here. This one right here, because in the question, they talk about expanded problem-focused history, which is no longer part of E&M. And we have to get that one corrected because it doesn't match up with the correct time either. But anyway, they'll get those fixed, and Pocket Prep will be great. But with 500 questions and only 30 of them being E&M, there's tons of other subjects to do here, which I love because you can concentrate on any one of the 17 subjects here. So if you want to do just all compliance and guidelines or just all laboratory and path, you can build your own exam and do nothing but lab and path questions, which are super cool. And then you just pick out your answer and your rationale shows up, which is super handy dandy. And they tell you what page number to find the answer in, which helps you figure out what answers you can find where and where you can find them by utilizing the book and page numbers. Then you can figure out more uses of the book in different situations. So it's super cool. All right. Bring this thing back up. And I want that one, I think. Yep. And let me check chat and see what I missed. I'm sure I missed a bunch. Today's duck class was good. what I was able to sit and watch. You can watch the replay. So the one that you did, the link that you used this morning to get into it will be your link for the next 30 days so you can watch the replays. Planning on retaking in June. Hey, Bright. Practicode is hard. I have a room in there in our Discord group where you can post your questions. And I think Quizlet has all the questions and answers for many of those. They call it Practium, though. It's got IUM at the end. Something like that. I'm not sure how they're spelling it. They're spelling it a different way. Like that. Throw that into chat. But all the answers are available online if you just copy the first sentence of every Practicode thing. It's just that the Practicode has some errors in it, but there are people that have finished all 600 cases in 90 days that are in our Discord group that can help you out. So just post that you need help, and somebody in there will help out. Hey, Dawn. Good luck. Good luck, good luck, good luck. Can we take CEUs before we pass our exam? No, they won't count at all, Holly, so don't do them. So those practice exam magazine articles with the CEUs, don't do those before you do your CPC. Now, I mean, you can participate in the webinars that do have CEUs available. You just won't be able to utilize those. Peppermints. Good job, Casey. Be sure and get them unwrapped. Put them in a Ziploc bag or something clear to take with you so that you're not making wrapper noises, during the exam. I did the 24andMe genetics thing, and one of the things it says is that my genetic buildup has an aversion to wrapper paper noises. It's really interesting, some of the stuff that they spit out on that report to tell you, and I'm like, I didn't know that was a genetic trait. That's really interesting. This is your first time watching the live, Kimberly? Aw. And you're a member. You're a paid member. Thank you, Go-Kart. Go-Kart says Discord is an awesome resource. It's like having a 24-hour classroom. Aw, that's awesome. Yeah, I hadn't heard of the app before either until my oldest son said that's where you need to teach in. It's not like Facebook. They don't track you. You're not going to get ads and advertisements. And it's a great place to store all your data for free without having to pay for something. Getting ready for your exam on Wednesday. How exciting. You can't see anything, Eva? I'm sorry. Where do you go to get Pocket Prep? PocketPrep.com. So I can show you that again. I think, was I here? No, I was here. No, I wasn't. I was here. So let me get back to that website. I know y'all are seeing it, but I'm not seeing it. Hold on. Right here. So when you go to just simply pocketprep.com, like I said, some of the E and they're not correct. What you're going to do here is you're going to pick medical when you get to the website, and then that's when it pops up with AAPC, CPC, and that's what you'll purchase. It's $14, I think, a month, but you can have this on your phone, and you can also have this on your desktop. So you could be standing in line at the grocery store or whatever, and you could do the question of the day. You know, it's super fun and cool. They give you a question of the day. They give you a your weakest subjects. No, I don't want to do that. There's the question of the day. They also will tell you your stats, how well you are, and you get to see your grades in each 17 subject. So that's really fun to do. They have 45 questions. I've been fussing at them about that in the hit picks. When in E&M, they only have 30 questions. I think that should be reversed, especially since hit picks only has 3 questions on the exam. Why have so many here when we really need more in E&M and they only have 30, when they have 40 in the guidelines, 45 in ICD-10, when we only have 5 questions in ICD-10. It gets kind of crazy, and we don't have but 30 in Lab and Path. We could do with more there too. I'm trying to work with them, and we only have 20 in these 2,000, 30,000, but I wish they'd increase these, but I'm working with them to get more. But they're built, all the questions are just like AAPC. It seems like they're doing the same format as everything else, A, B, C, D, and then you can see the rationale. Go to the next question here. There's the question, there's the rationale. I love their format. I just wish they had more questions in key areas better. And then they're struggling with the E&M new guidelines. So I'm trying to help them out and get those fixed for them. But it's a great way for $14 get access to 500 other questions to practice. I think it's great. You do have to log back in and actually stop your subscription. But if you do buy 3 months for like $34 and you don't pass your CPC exam, they have a pass or get your next 3 months for free guarantee. So if you do get 3 months access of this for $34 and you don't pass your CPC exam, they'll give you another 3 months for free. Also, they do have a grant here that I know, was that you, Go-Kart? Somebody got a grant. So go to their blog and fill out a grant application and see if you can't get 3 months for free. This is their pass guarantee right there. So if you do get it and you don't pass, then they'll give you 3 more months for free. But I like them. For sure. All right. Go back over here and that's just pocketprep.com. I just, not everything is perfect, but they're close. They're good. All right. How long does it take to get your in-person results back? Anywhere from 72 hours to 2 weeks. Just depends. Hey, Julia, what you just showed me, the test questions, do you have it for COC also? Pocket Prep does not have COC questions. The best place to get COC questions is, of course, our AAPC. If you just go to training, go to CPC, it's just the easiest way for me to get there. Go right here to practice exams. Click on the COC tab right there. And then click this one and this one. Don't click anything else. Click agree. And that will get you 6 exams for $150, and that's 300 questions for COC. And then when you do sign in and you get your COC will be in under your sign in right here. Those practice questions will be under your sign in right here under purchased items. All your practice questions will be there. But that's the best place to get COC questions. Now, if you've done all your CPC practice exam questions, you've done A, B, C, D, E, and F, and maybe you haven't passed, and you've also done pocket prep, those 500, you've already done these 300 questions. If you're looking for more questions to do, I like to purchase over here at Speciality. They have lots of specialities. The CEDC is for, or MC, not MC, where's MC? Right here. That is all, it's just going to be 3 exams, 350, whatever exam right here. This one is all E&M questions. So that's pretty cool. And that's another exam of 50 questions to practice. Even though, and then if you do use those and then they do help you pass your CPC and you've already done these questions, then you can go sit for the CEMC and become specially coder in that area too. So it's kind of cool. The other one that would be nice is PEDS, has a lot of E&M questions in it too. Those are $39 for 50 questions too. I like the CCC for the cardiovascular questions, surgery, just blanket surgery ones, but there's tons of questions to purchase from AAPC that will back up the CPC practice exams if you've already done those and you want more questions. The CPMA, a great set of questions for auditors. If anybody wants to sit for the auditing, they have 3 exams here too. CRC, they have 3 practice exams for that one too. Their most popular is CPC and CRC, but anyway, I recommend getting them from the source for sure. Of course, if you're going to sit for an AAPC certification, get their practice exams and the study guide for that specialty. So if you want to do CPMA, get that study guide. If you want to do CPC, get that study guide. Super helpful. Their study guides are basically the same thing as the course for sure. And then if you wanted to do family practice or E&M study guide, yeah. Super helpful, but they're kind of expensive. This CEMC study guide, it's, how many pages is this? It's 80 pages. Pretty thin. So you're having to pay $1 a page for this at $79 if you were to buy this study guide. But maybe you can find an older year, but really with the E&Ms being all changed in 2023, I guess it's best to get the 2023 versions, but hopefully they'll be going down in price pretty soon. All right. Get back to these chat and see what you guys are needing. Thank you, Shar. You like Pocket Prep? I need to be one of their paid sponsors for them. Are the Pocket Prep questions more similar to CPC exam, or are the AAPC practice exams? AAPC practice exam questions are definitely like their certification exams, of course. Now, the Pocket Prep does a really good job of showing you how to find answers in the AAPC versions of their ICD-10 book and their HitPix book, which is invaluable for the certification exam, where the AAPC practice questions lack in showing you how to utilize their books in finding the answers. Pocket Prep picks up that slack and shows you how to use those books. If you pay attention to the rationale, you go back there and you go find the answer on the page number that they tell you the answer is on, which is not easy to do. You'd think it would be, but sometimes those answers are hidden, and I have the page number. I know it's there, but I can't find it without doing a word search or something. But if you don't have an electronic version of the book, then it's really hard to do. But it will force you to learn how to use your books properly, which will help you during the exam. So I think it's a great tool. I think the questions are sometimes harder and sometimes easier than what's going to be on the exam. But the same thing is for the AAPC practice exam. Sometimes the questions are easier on the exam, the final certification exam, and sometimes they're harder. So it's just a mixture, I just love the fact that you get 500 of them for $14, and that's great. I love it. Great price. How long will it take to get a person test results back? Oh yeah, I answered that one. Okay, I answered that one. Amy has Pocket Prep. She likes it. I think it's a great tool. Awesome. All right, good. And then I haven't used Pocket Prep, but AAPC practice questions are close to what's on the actual exam. Yep. And some say they're easier. Yep. Just be sure, and don't just memorize the answers to each question, because you get to do those over and over again. Be sure and go find out in the book with the codes and the code descriptors and the headers. Find out why the wrong answer is wrong and make notes about that. And then also find out why the right answer is right. What in the books tell you that that is a correct or wrong answer? What header is different? What descriptor is different? That's really the key point of those practice exam questions. I had a couple of questions from the practice exam that had deleted codes and answers that were deleted. Yeah, Kimberly, be sure and get a hold of AAPC, report their errors. Yeah, they have errors in some of the questions, which is unfortunate, especially since you're paying $1.50 per question and it's still got deleted codes in it. I was just in a practice exam for hernias repairs the other day, and yeah, they still had deleted codes on there, even though they're going to tell you they're all updated. We need to bombard them with emails with copies of their questions and explaining to them why the question is wrong. They're thinking that they've corrected all of them, and they're incorrect. They've got quite a few that are wrong. But the more that I can get y'all to help me email them, maybe we can get a hold of somebody. First question of the night, anatomy. What do you guys think about this question while I'm reading chat? Twinkle must be working tonight. Darn ads. I know y'all get frustrated with these ads that come up all the time. Without Google, don't Google. What do you think the answer is? Be sure to participate by typing into chat so you can win a subscription to my YouTube channel, which will give you access to exclusive videos that you can't get just on my regular YouTube, because I will be giving away subscriptions. I got some super chats from some people on my YouTube videos that sent me some money for creating the videos, so I'm giving that money back to you guys. Carla just won 1 month access to all my exclusive videos on YouTube, so I hope that information is super helpful. You'll be able to see all the individual CPT code book prep videos and the workshops. So be sure and Google how do you see your membership benefits on YouTube, and YouTube has some great little videos that will show you how to access those benefits. Yes, B is the answer. Good job, guys. Lumbar plexus, where are we at in the body? Pelvis, back, chest, or head? Where are we at? Thank you. Oh yeah, for the thumbs up. Thank you guys for the thumbs up. Thank you, Go-Kart. I'm probably going to go live tomorrow on TikTok, so if y'all want some extra time with me at some point in the afternoon, evening, probably around this time, I may be live on YouTube. No, TikTok, sorry. C is the answer for this one. The back, abdomen, calves. Here's the answers for all the rest. Cervical is for the head, of course. Brake is for your chest. Lumbar is back. Sacral is pelvis. If you have a filtration rate of 18, what stage of CKD are you? Stage 1, 2, or 3. And remember, no Google. Google's not going to be available for you when you're taking your exam. Alexei, you just got you another month's worth of subscription. I hope it is helpful for you. This one is stage 4. Here's all the stages. Stage 1, greater than 90. Stage 2, we've got 60 to 89. Stage 3, 30 to 59. Stage 4, 15 to 29. Stage 5 is 0 to 14. I took this little chart and I drew it in my lab and path area in that front section where the guidelines are at. I just drew a simplified version of this in my lab and path area. That way I'd have it just in case I needed it for an exam question. I hope that's helpful for you. All right. I think this question may be one from the duck class. I'm not sure. And once I start looking up the codes, we'll see. me see. Can I get this to delete? Yeah, delete that. Delete. Delete, delete, delete. Sorry guys, I'm trying to add my camera to see if I could show off my book and my codes. My children are acting a fool. Nope. You're not gonna work? Come on. Come on. I know you can. Nope. Don't know why. This just does not like to work. Properties. Oop. Okay, I gotta leave that alone for a minute. So we have 3 of them that are in the 30s, the last 3 digits. Let's go to our 3, 5, 6, 31. And 3, 6. That's right. These 2 are under one header. And then these 2 are in another header. I can't tell if you guys can hear and see me. I don't know if my system has frozen. So let me know if you guys can still see and hear me. Hey Twinkle, good to see you. Just seeing if y'all could still hear me. Do I have any tips on anything to add? Okay, good. To ICD-10 anatomy diagrams that help during the test. Hey, Erin. I put up this week a copy of my ICD-10 anatomy pictures on my website if you want them. I updated like the cardiology pictures and the hormone endocrine pictures. But the main thing is just like you update the CPT code book. What you do is you just Google the functions of the picture that is in front of you in the ICD-10 book. So if you're looking at the sinuses or the brain or the heart, just put down heart anatomy functions and it'll give you, and then look at your images and then match that image with what you find in Google and then add in the functions to all the body parts. Yeah, this one we've got, let me think, I think this one, let me see, where's our, this 55, 36 is spleen. This one's aort. Then our 631 is aort. And this one's spleen. We're doing spleen, so you know you can get rid of the two aorts. Now, the differences between these two, because they're both the same descriptors, is their headers. This one's header is under bypass, graft, vein. This one is under other. Than vein. So, you just need to know which header you're under. Are we doing a bypass, graft, vein, or are we doing other than a vein? It's just not going to work, is it? Sorry. My OBS is being a pain tonight. I'm hoping it'll get back to better. Because, a couple of things, we are doing a bypass graft, but our vein that we're using is prosthetic. So we're not using the 5, we're using the 6 because we're under other, because it's prosthetic. It's not a real vein. So just the differences in the headers on this one. I assumed this morning, because D is under other, and usually we don't have those as being the answer, the NOS, nonspecific, or in an area where it's other, is usually not the answer, but this one tricked me. Other is where we're at. Here's the rationale that comes with it. Oh, come on, close. Yep. Good job, go-kart. Sorry about the black square. I'm trying to get it to go away and disappear. And my computer has the spinny wheel of blue death saying, do you want to close the program or do you want to wait? So I'm sitting here hitting the wait button, hoping that it will eventually clear up and move out of the way. But y'all can see a little tiny piece of it. I'm trying. Mean old black square. All right. I'll have to pop out. Okay, guys, can y'all see and hear me now? Does that help? The black square of death be gone. All right, good job. Oop. Did that thing come back? Delete. Yes, delete that. Okay. So both these ended up being spleen, and they have the same descriptor, but if you look before them, you'll see that this one is a vein header, and this one is under the header of other. Since they're using a prosthetic, then you know they're doing other. So beside this code and near its header on page 283, if you're in the 2023 CPT book, beside the words that say other than vein, I put equals PTFE, prosthetic. That way the next time I see this, I won't get it incorrect. And I'll know that they are using a prosthetic and not a real vein. And the rationale. There's the rationale. The square of doom, be gone. What's expensive? Sam Spurge, correct. Hey, Twinkle. Anesthesia. So we've got two that are 51 and two that are 52. So let's go see what our differences are first in those two codes. What is the one-word differences between codes 51 and 52? Does anybody know? 09151 and 09152. What is our one-word differences between those codes? My streaming internet speed is in the red, so I have a feeling this stream is not going to be able to finish correctly. We had a wreck in town, and it shut down even our cell phone service for a while. I don't know. Maybe they're still working on whatever that was. But I can see my stream is in the red. It's not happy with me. But I'll do all that I can to get these questions done. Yep, just the differences in our burn sites. So let's go check out our question, and we're just going to look for those percentages. Anything above 4 is going to be in 52. So we're definitely above 4. So we can get rid of 51s. Now all we need to know is, would we times 3 our second code, or is this enough by itself? What do you guys think? Everybody likes answer C? Awesome. I like it too. Just a little bit of math. Not a lot, but these are the type of questions where you might utilize a little bit of math to do these. We increase by 9 each time. 9 times 3 is 27, plus your other 9%, which is in the 52. Let's get you close enough. All right. Now we just need to know the differences between the 20s and the 26s. What's our differences? Three, 26, and 20. They're both mama codes, so we don't have to worry about much. Age is a difference, that's right. Let's check out the age of our patient. Sometimes it's numerical numbers, and sometimes you're looking for the word of a patient's age. You never know. Y'all, while I was in the other part of the United States last week, daylight savings time, you guys are crazy. Arizona doesn't participate in it, so by 7:30 it's dark at night. Well, in other parts of the United States, it's 9 o'clock at night before the sun goes down. It is crazy. I haven't seen that daylight savings time in 13 years, so it was really weird last week to have the sun up for so long. Man. John and I were dragging, ready to go to bed, and here the sun is still up. I forgot about that big difference. Like, it's only 7:40 here and the sun's already going down. It won't be up for very much longer. Are we 20 or 26 with this patient? Ooh, somebody's looking at their do nots. Good job. We can use it. No, we can't. We don't use it with the 26. This code wouldn't utilize it because it says it's for a patient who's 1 year or older, so that's a coding irregularity too. So it has to be specific to these two codes. This one says over 1 year, this one says under 1 year. Our patient is less than 1 year old, so we know our answer is going to be B. Exactly the type of question you guys are going to see. Radiology, I had a request for radiology tonight. I hope you guys are ready. All right, we've got 2 in the 50s, a 55 and a 50. Let's go see those codes first. See if we're under the right header. 744. 50 and 55 are closest together. They both start off with the same descriptor name of the surgery or radiology procedure they're doing. One of them is retrograde, the other one is voiding. Let's see if we're doing either one of those. What do you guys think? We're just skimming for those words, retrograde and voiding. They didn't say voiding, but they did say void. What do you think that tells you? Oh, up here we've got voiding. Nice. Yep. Our voiding is with the 55 code, actually. My hidden one up here. It carries the 26 modifier, is okay to utilize with it. In this situation, you can add those notes to this code that okay to use 26 modifier with. If we wanted to add that. Because the urologist did the radiographic exam himself or herself instead of a radiologist. So the MD gets the professional component for doing the radiographic exam themselves. And there's your answer. And rationale. All right, we've got a difference between the 46 and the 47. Let's go check out the two codes, see what our differences are, and that difference is the only thing you look through the question for. Let's see, 710. And just getting to the codes, remembering where they're at, getting your hands to turn to the right pages. Super helpful for you guys to do this along with me. 46 is 2 views. 47 is 3 views. Let's check out our question and see how many views we've got. What do you guys think the answer is? Probably it's okay to bill with all of those in this area if a urologist does it. If it was a urologist does it. If a radiologist does it, you may not need to add that modifier. But if you have an MD doing it, they're doing the job of a radiologist and they're performing an evaluation as an MD at the same time, then they get the little bump up in price. Ooh, we got some A's and B's. This one's always painful. We have AP, one view, lateral, another view. So that's two views, even though it sort of seems like they're doing three. So we're going to get rid of C and D. Scope of practice. Let's see. Don't know how to explain this one, but a urologist doing the previous study up here, where they're filling up the bladder and seeing how it voids. It's one of the things that the techs usually do. Chest x-ray. If you're going to build this particular code, the interpretation of the chest x-ray is global for interpretation. It is included. Another way you can see is that AAPC is pushing you to add a modifier because 3 of the answers have a modifier on it. Which one's different? That one's your different one. That's the answer, the one without the modifier. Chest x-rays are global. They include the interpretation in them. It's not a speciality thing like that retrograde was up above. Let's see if the rationale says anything better than what I'm trying to spit out. Let's see. Yes, 2 views. See, global service. And it's hard to know which radiological services include globally an interpretation. And it's mostly chest x-rays and simple fractures. You know, these are broken fingers, broken wrist, those kind of things. Chest x-rays are simple global x-rays. You can't use extended modifiers on those. But specialty tests like that retrograde voiding thing, that's different. It's an ultrasound. It's staying there, watching the bladder fill up and void. It's not, and actually probably the MD doesn't even do the chest x-ray. You know, I used to shoot x-rays too in the office, and I would shoot the x-ray and just put the film up on the lights and let the doctor do his own interpretation. And then we send the films out for a second look by an independent physician, radiologist later on, just to make sure our doc didn't miss anything. But nobody got the modifier on chest x-rays. One of these days, I'm going to go through the whole entire radiology section and let you guys know which ones are global by putting a G beside them, and then which ones you could add a 20 whatever to if it was done by the MD or PCP, something like that. I just need the time to go through each code and do the whole radiology section. It'd be great if I could just get that done. It's one of my projects I want done. Maybe I can enlist Twinkle to help me out with some of that. Those two questions were in perfect order to trip me up. Aw, sorry, Erin. Yay, Sam. I'm so glad you love our Discord group. Yeah, they're just trying to trick you, saying that the physician owns the equipment. It's just a trick. It's that propaganda that's in the question that I tell you guys to avoid at all costs. No worries about caps. Talking caps all you want. Sometimes I need yelling at because I miss questions too. So feel free. You set up your exam for July 29th. Best of luck. Yeah, I think it would be great, Deep. I just need time. I need to quit my job and work on all these little projects for you guys. That would be lovely. Yes, 46 is global. Anything under chest x-ray right there is global. All the chest x-rays. Now, I don't know about the CT, like number 71, 75, and the 50 and 51 and 55. I don't know if those are global or not. I have to go into my encoder and see. But all those from 45 to 48 and 71100 to 71130. So 71045 down to 71130. Those are all global. Don't do any 26s on those. Aw, thanks, Deep. I'd love that. Twinkle Little Star. She's my helper. She helps me reply to emails and deletes inappropriate posts and that kind of stuff for me. She listens to me vent too, so I text her. I guess we text every day, don't we, Twinkle? I complain to her, or we have jokes. We just try to let out some steam. But she also is there to help me out too. All right. We've got 2 5-7s. I need to get her like her own subscription to Encoder or something so she can help me look up and see which thing. You could just go in there and type in each CPT code and it'll tell you which modifiers you can't use with them, and we can figure out which ones are global that way, because it'll say you can't use 26 with it. All right, so those 2 57s and then those 2 58s might be under different headers. Let's look up those real quick. 757. Will be faster. 75710 and 16. And what are we under? We're under AOR. Maybe? No, we're not. We're under angio. And then the 75820 is under VIN, whatever. And this is unilateral. And then the 5810 is spleen, another spleen. 58. Okay. What did we do today? We did our angios, so we know we're going to keep A and C, and we just have to figure out if we're unilateral or bilateral. What do you guys think? Are we unilateral or bilateral? Hi, Sandra from Cali. No worries. You can always rewind and watch this later. Yep, I think it's a great idea to go-kart. Good job, Jen. Hey, Jada. What numbers again are global? They are 71045 through 71130. I'm sure there's many more in this section, but I know just by looking these 10 codes, I think there's 10 of them here, somewhere around there, are all global. You think we're bilateral, Moga? Did we go right and left? Did we go into both femoral legs, the femoral arteries? You know, when you're doing these angios, we went in on the right. Did we also go in on the left? Are we bilateral? Or did we just do they're trying to confuse you right here where you're seeing the and, I bet. But technically, that is just up one side. That's it. One side. Unilateral. Just the right. They would have to go through the other femoral artery on the other leg, and you would have to see that they did the left. Most all of these answers, when they're asking about being unilateral or bilateral, it's always usually unilateral. Ends up being the answer, especially when you're talking about the femoral artery. Because how often would you string a catheter and mess with both thighs to get anywhere? So most anything that is going through the femoral arteries ends up always being unilaterally. They would have to do both legs if they did both bilaterally, and that's really unusual because they can go all the way up to the heart or the neck to get rid of a clot from that one side of the leg. So they can pretty much go everywhere except for down that other leg. Deep's going to knock it out of the park. All of you guys are. Hey, Blondie, how's it going? Good to see you. All right, we've got 2 that have 22 in them and 2 that have 21. Let's go look up these 21 codes first. 721. And I really want to make sure you guys are opening your book, you're turning to the codes, you really got to practice You've got to get to each one of these codes within 2 minutes, figure out what your one-word differences are, get back to your question, do a word search for those differences, and then bubble in your exam. If you're not practicing the physical memory, muscle memory of just getting to codes in your books, remembering to go to the answers first, putting blinders on for the practice questions, putting your one-word differences down, you're going to fall behind when you go to take your exam for real if you haven't practiced all those steps. 72100. All right, we've got the spine. This one's global too, by the way. And then the 32, what's the differences between it and 32? Thirty-two is a child code. This one is a CT. This one is just an X-ray. All right, our 722, 65 is muscle exam, and then our 70 is also an MYE. Oh, it's probably a difference between those two. What's our differences? One of them is lumbar sacral, and this one is 2 or more regions. So let's check it out. What did we do? Read from the bottom up. Not really read, but what did we do here? Did something under fluoroscope. There's the MYE. Yep. So we did do the MYE. You know you can get rid of the CT and the X-ray. It's just a differences between 2 or more regions, or did we stick it out with the lumbar sacral? What do you guys think? $65 or $70? $70 would be 2 or more regions like lumbar and thoracic, cervical and thoracic, lumbar and cervical, lumbar and thoracic with cervical. So when you're looking through this question, we see all lumbar, right? Lumbar, lumbar, low back. Do you see cervical mentioned? Do you see thoracic mentioned? Do you see, that one does sacral. If you don't see any of these mentioned, then we only did the one region. So we know our answer is going to be A, 65. And look right here. Singular, lumbar region. It's not lumbar regions or thoracic regions. Everything is singular. Another way you can tell. A is your answer. I believe. Yes. Does that help? More radiology. They're all 7s, they're all 6s, they're all 8s. Then we have 2 with O and 2 with the 1. So I'd break them up into 2 codes at a time, see what our differences are. So 76801. Ultrasound. Our 05 is, of course, ultrasound 2. Our 15 and 16, everything's going to be ultrasound. Yep, everything. The ultrasounds are divided up into some sections. Are we doing gestational, size, trimester, or are we doing limited, just listening for the heartbeat and placenta position? Are we just doing a quick check, or are we doing a full-on measuring the baby and everything? Let's check out our question and see. We're just doing a quick look for the heartbeat and fetal position. She's got triplets. And we're in the, what trimester is 22 weeks? It's definitely not first trimester, which we have in our 01. Our 05 is greater than 14 weeks. It's transabdominal. We're doing a full fetal evaluation and mom evaluation on 05, which is not what we're doing in today's when we're just checking the heartbeat and the fetal position. So if we go over to 15 and 16, one of them is a follow-up, the other one is limited. Is this a re-eval, or are we doing limited? And you don't have to worry about the second and other codes that come after. You can put blinders on because every single one of your answers starts out with a different CPT code. So if you get your first answer, the first code correct, whatever comes behind it will be correct too. It's to save you some time. Don't worry about what comes after when all your answers start out with a different answer. Just figure out what the first answer is and let the rest go. There's no reason to stay there and figure out if the second answer is correct after you figured out what you're going to pick for your first code. That's just going to waste you time. You're going to need all that time for sure. Yep, we're just doing a word match for heartbeat and position. And that's what's inside our 15. Yeah, she's got 3 of them in there, but we don't code for each one because that CPT code description says 1 or more fetuses. So it'll do all the way up to octomom or more. Okay? When we're just looking for heartbeat and position. You probably get one of these on the exam. So be sure and practice these codes. These look like they'll be all in a row. So let's just run to 3700. It's going to be backwards. Three, 700 CT. No contrast. 01 is positive contrast. 02 is combo. It'll do without and then it'll do with. And then 06 is a CT. The difference is one of them, this one is a CT-OM tomograph, this one is a CT angio. So let's check our question for just those differences. We don't need to know who they are, what diagnosis they have. We just need to know, did they have contrast for one? Anything with contrast? Which one was global on the last codes? That rib, the rib x-rays, the one with the ribs. We were looking at some ribs. I think, the 72100 C is a global, most definitely. I don't have to look that one up to know that one's global. This question you will get in some sort of form on the exam for sure. I believe it's always on there. Look at Brenda. Brenda's got it down. Brenda knows her guideline, which is on page, if you're in the 2023 book, you're going to be on page 521. Second column, right underneath the green words that say written report. The sentence that's right above it, it says oral or rectal contrast administration alone does not qualify as a study with contrast. So in layman's terms, if the contrast is oral or rectal, we don't count it as contrast. It only counts as contrast when it's introduced intravenously. So this question says the contrast was given orally. So anything with contrast goes away. So we get rid of those two. And CT has contrast, doesn't it? 06. 73706. 06. Yep, that one includes contrast. The only answer here that doesn't include contrast is D, because 06 has contrast in it too. That guideline will be on your exam one way or another. They may ask you plain out about the guideline, or you may have a CPT code with it, like that one. But it'll be on there. Ooh, hip hicks. Let's go grab a different book. Where is my HitPix book? Good Lord. I put all these questions on there and I didn't even have the HitPix book out today. All right. Be sure to log on a little earlier for the workshop on Sunday. We'll do the spinny wheel for some prizes. I was just moving some of them out of the way, which reminded me. All right, Q4115. Anybody that's taking their exam tomorrow, I think somebody is, be sure you know the differences in ambulance services in the HitPix book for ALS and BLS. Be sure to know that for tomorrow. All right, Q41, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Q41, way back here. 4115. All right. And 16. One of them's aloe skin, one of them's aloe derm. So are we doing derm or skin? We're doing skin, so that means we're going to keep the 15s because the 16 is derm. Those are derm, and this is skin. This is where you're going to do a little bit of math. We're doing 10 square centimeters, and it says that the HitPix code is per squared centimeter. So you know that we will have to times this by 10 because this is per. So D will be our answer. Sometimes I find the answers, if you look at the HitPix code Q4106 on the previous page, you'll see that descriptor for dermograph per square centimeter, there's another line with some weird words on it, but then there's another line that says drugs, and it's got in blue dermograph. Not every code has a drug name in it, but when it does, I find that most of the time AAPC or CCS, AHEMA, they use those words to describe what they're doing and not what the CPT code descriptor says. More so in the J codes, they'll be coming up in a minute. They won't be the same names. These all seem to be the same names in the drug area. Maybe Q4081 on that first column, where the drug name is called Epogen or Procrit, but you'll see the name of the drug near the CPT code is called alpha epoten. And I remember doing my exam, and they had a lot of chemotherapy drugs, and I couldn't find the name that they were discussing in the question, but I believe I was looking directly across from the code number, and I didn't look down to the drug names that was listed down there because I hadn't played around in HitPix very much. And I believe I may have missed one there. I'm not sure. But be sure to look down for drug names if they're listed in the HitPix book. jargon. Are we in the Q's or are we going to be in the J's? Ten more minutes. Oh my goodness. Crosswalks are there to help you from one year to another year if codes get adjusted, renamed, reclassified. Then we use crosswalks to help us. Okay, if a patient was seen in December of 2022 and had some sort of aloe skin put on, it would be one HIPPICS code number. But in January, when the codes update, that code may have changed, and we utilize a crosswalk to tell us what the code changed to for bill of services for January 1st. So they're just supposed to be helpful, but I'm just glad I'm not a biller. Are we going to be a Q code or a J code? Most drugs, injectables, are J codes. So I would start off with that. I'd run to the J's to see what those are first before I did the Q's, because most injectables are in the J's. Yeah. So the difference between J25, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, J255, J255. Promethazine, and J29 50. It's not promethazine, but it's promazine. Very different name. And looking at the drug names on down there underneath the BETOS thing is super helpful. I bet I was hyper-focused on my exam and didn't look down there for any drug names. And the 2950 has no AKA drug names written underneath it, where the J255 does. D is your answer. Yeah, I wish my camera was working tonight. I could show you in my books, but it's not being very cooperative, and I don't want it to put the big blob of death, the big black square up there on the questions again. Ooh, medicine section, medicine. So we've got 3 that are in the 75 area. So I would run to those codes first. Our first one in numerical order will be the 3-0. So 975. 975. 975. 30. Therapeutic. 33 is sensory, and 35 is self-home care. Let's see what we did today. Just the first words from each one of those descriptors is all you need. You don't need to read the full descriptor when they're all different and they're all starting off with different words like therapeutic, sensory, and home. That's all you need. Grab that first word, go to the question, see if you can word match with anything relatable to those areas. We're working on environmental demands. What would that fall under? Therapeutic is to improve your performance in a particular area. That doesn't really have anything to do with your environmental demands. So we can get rid of that one. Sensory, that's intriguing. Sensory and your environment. How much clues do you get from your environment based off your senses? That's a possibility. 3-5 is to self-care, take care of, transferring, brushing your teeth, getting dressed, all those safety things. They're not saying anything about that right now, but they are saying sensory if we do go on up just a bit. So I would stop looking and I would pick D as my answer. Just those one-word differences is all you need. Yep. Good job. Is your rationale? All right. Don't worry about the secondary codes. All your first set of codes are all different. So you don't have to pay attention to these. If you get your first answer correct, then you're good to go. So let's go look at the first one in numerical order. 99151. Be sure you know acupuncture in this area for tomorrow. If anybody's taking their exam tomorrow, look up those acupuncture codes. Check on those. There's just a difference between them using electricity or no electricity. That's all you really need to worry about. But check out those codes if you're taking your exam tomorrow. 99151. We have same. And also with 52 is same. 55, your one word difference is other. And so is 56. Yep. So if the same doctor doing the procedure is also the doctor that gives you your I don't care what you're doing to me drug, then it's going to be A or D. If you have 2 people working on you where one person's giving you your I don't care drugs and the other one is working on the procedure, then will be B or C. So let's check and see. Clear those headers before we worry about the descriptors. So let's see, how many physicians do we have? Or whoever. We have an orthopedic resident. Do we have anybody else? We do have a nurse who's present to monitor so we have 2 people working on the kid or person, whoever. Yeah, it is a kid. So I would get rid of the sames. Now we just need to know what's our difference between our 55 and 56. It's age. 55 is younger than 5, and 56 is older than 5. Younger and older is the only differences. And do they need to be older than 5? Patient is age 5 or older, so 5 or older goes with 56. So we can pick that answer. Super easy if you just look for the differences in the CPT codes in the question, instead of looking for all the other stuff that's in here and dealing with that. Only look, do I have 2 people working on the patient or 1? Cross out the differences. Then look to see what your other difference is, which was just a patient's age. Makes the exams questions so much easier, and plus you're more accurate this way. Because if you start reading the questions from beginning to end first, you're going to have pre-assumptions about what you're supposed to be coding. And your head's going to be swimming full of stuff. Some quick anatomy, and then we'll go. Quick anatomy. Which one of these are hips? Which one are hips? Good night, Kimberly. I see you later. I'm sure the chart does help. I just find it easier because I've already got the CPT codes marked up for 51 and 52. They just say same, and then I have 55 and 56 marked up as other. So when I see those codes, I automatically just start looking in the question for however many MDs or whatever are working on the patient. I don't know. You've come up with your own process, absolutely, of how you want to do the questions. The charts generally do make the exam questions a lot easier. Just this one looks so big and wordy, and it's talking about minutes, which has never been part of the question. That was a part of the thing that I needed to look up. So I've never paid attention to it much because it doesn't separate them out by how many MDs. Ugh. But I'm stubborn and stuck in my ways. This one, A, is our answer. This one, we've got 3 that start with C. I like looking for similarities. We've got 2, 3 that start with C, and 2 that end in L. I still look for similarities everywhere I go. My brain does that. What do you guys think the answer is for this one? Perfect. C, cranial. All right, what about the outer portion of the disc between the vertebrae? Outer and between. Outer and between. Posterior means back. So be careful. We're between. Posterior means back. And it's kind of neat how the answer kind of looks like a person standing between two people. So between, even just the letters look like between to me. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but my brain works weird. It makes associations with some of the weirdest stuff. That is between. Here's another CKD one. If we had a filtration rate of 93, what stage would our patient be at? Thank you, Twinkle. What stage would we be at 93? Good night. We're going to be stage 1. They're still filtering out pretty good. Here's those rates again in case y'all wanted to write them down in the lab and pass section. That's where I put them. In fact, I put them... I put that chart on page 595 is where I put it. In the bottom of the first column. I just made space right there. Which organ is located? If you're taking your exam tomorrow, they want to know where the stomach is, where the spleen is, where's the gallbladder, where's this, where's that. They want to know locations of stuff. So this one, we're looking for upper left region of the abdomen under the diaphragm holds what? And it is responsible for cleaning blood and destroying old red blood cells. Good night, Brenda. Best of luck, whoever's taking their exam tomorrow. I'll be on TikTok, I think, tomorrow night, so come on and let me know what you thought of the exam. Spleen is correct. Good job. Good job, good job, good job. What is the function of the thyroid gland? Does it secrete? Okay, they all secrete. Does it secrete? Okay, metabolism, insulin, mood, or immune? Which one does the thyroid gland do? Metabolism, insulin, mood and growth, or immune and calcium? I don't see any correct answers yet. Ooh, wait a minute. There you go, go-kart. Go-kart, Tracy, Sam, and John. Good job, guys. Secrete hormones for metabolism and blood calcium. All right, that's it. I hope this was helpful, guys. I will see you on Sunday. I know it's Mother's Day. I'm sorry. It's a crazy month for me. I've got another trip coming up. We're going to go to my mother's brother birthday. He's going to be 70 years old, young, in June. So we're going to go see him June 8th through the 13th. So that's coming up pretty soon. There just wasn't any other time to do a workshop. But I hope to see you guys on Mother's Day. I'm so sorry. If not, y'all can watch the replay. It'll be super handy dandy with all those guidelines and E&M questions. And if I don't see you before then, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, even your own mothers. I wish you all the best. And I'll be back for another free live lesson on Monday, of course. We'll do some more practice exams here on YouTube, 6:30 Arizona time zone for 2 hours. But between now and then, I'll be on TikTok tomorrow at some point. I need to go live on it in the afternoon, and we'll play around and do some Q&A and answer some questions. And I'll be doing some finishing up on the workshop questions for the rest of the night tonight and tomorrow morning. Happy Mother's Day. Yes, yes, yes. I hope this was helpful for you guys. Thanks, Tracy. I want to come visit your country one of these days. Although you got some big insects out there. But I would love to come visit. Thank you, guys. Good night, Go-Kart. Good night, guys. I love you. I will see you all tomorrow and Sunday. I hope this has been helpful.